going on, guys? It's Shadow, bringing you guys another video. This time I'm facing a Limb. I won Dice Roll, chose to go first to take curve away from Limb, since I know that is what she wants to do, to be able to establish a 5-cost body and ramp. So I swing 5, takes the life, and then I establish a Brook. Brook is honestly very great card, and I'm only missing one for the ult. I thought I had a set, but I didn't. But you see, he swings 6. I decide to take it, and then he establishes a Sabo, which I believe the Sabo is if he has 2 rested characters and he swings, he can draw a card. I needed an Ice Age. I don't think I had it, so the Sabo's gonna stick this turn. But I swing 5. He ends up taking it, and then I end up playing a Kuzan and drawing 1, which is great because now with the Kuzan, I'm going to be able to reduce anything by 4 and then pop with the Brook. So, in a pretty decent spot right now. And you do see here, he's swinging 5. I give him a brand new this time. And he taps 3 for Limb, which allows him to search top 5, I believe, for an Odyssey type card. And you see he has 4 down up still, 3 to be able to use his lead ability and ramp. And he ends up grabbing the Sakazuki, and Sakazuki is such a good card. It allows him to pop a 5-cost body. But prior to that, you see he establishes a Doflamingo blocker, and he swings 7 with the Sabo. So he restands both of them since Lim sees more than 2 rested characters, or 2 or more rested characters. She restands herself, and Dofi restands at the end of his turn. So absolutely annoying that these things could just restand and stay alive. So I start with the Tashigi. I do the -4 on the Dofi over the Sabo because you can get so much value off the Dofi continuously just swinging with it and restanding. But not only that, I have this Kuzan, so I got the blocker off the field first. And my leader sees it to get that leader buff. But, very great combo there. I do attach a Don, swing 5 at his leader again, minusing that Sabo to get it to a 0 cost since the Kuzan got it to a 1 and popping it. So able to remove 2 bodies this turn, which is great. And here he's deciding on what to give me. Give me another 2k. And I swing 7 and he takes it. He does have a big hand right now, which is absolutely crazy. I believe he had like 9 cards, but he has taken multiple hits and he's down to his last life. But at this point, if he cannot answer my board, I could pretty much remove anything with the Kuzan and Brook combo. And I believe I had a decent sized hand as well. But nothing too great as far as like late game, I think, yet, because I needed a Gecko, which I'm going to eventually probably find into it. I'm running a 4 of in the deck. But definitely need to continue to remove stuff as he plays it. You see here, he swings 5 at the Brook. I give him a 2k, which is just a T-bone. He swings another 5, and I'm going to give him another 2k. Brook needs to stay alive for me. It's going to be able to remove stuff. Make it easier to remove, at least. You see, he taps 3 and plays out a Rosinante, and then taps 3 for Dofi. And then plays out a Nico Robin. And a Nico Robin is essentially just like a Sabo blocker for black, but for green. So his entire field is immune from KO effects until the start of his next turn. So everything that I had planned on doing this turn is not completely swayed because I can't remove how I wanted to do with the Brook. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to essentially be able to remove this field without KO effects. Which Tashigi is meant for that, since Tashigi is able to trash characters. I, however, unfortunately do not have another Tashigi in hand, I believe. I do know, I believe I'm going to attach a Don and swing 6 at the Rosinante. And the Rosinante's ability is when I attack it, it can restand. Or on declaration of attack, it can restand. Oh, it looks like I'm fishing for anything. So I do the Sengoku search, pitching a Suru and a Tashigi to draw 3. which again can draw into any three, which is why I'd rather do the Sengoku over brand new, because it can draw into like Rebecca, Gecko, or Jack. All stuff that is not grabbable off a brand new. And that opened up my entire play, because now I am able to, Moria into some better targets compared to before. But looks like I have it split right here, 4 and 4. And you do see I do swing 6 at the Rosinante, and I do 6 just to ensure that it dies, because 6, if he decides to block with the Dofi, he still has to give me a counter, which is what I want. But he decides to just let the Rosinante go. And I swing 8 at the Nico Robin, leaving me with, I believe, 4 on up. Yep. So I tap in 4 to play out a Borsalino, which is unKO'able. But I honestly should have. I did not swing with the Kuzan because, again, Dofi is a 6K, and even if I reduce it to 0 to be able to pop a Brook, the Nico Robin still had the static effect of non-KO for the turn, so not worth it. So that's why I had to play it a little different there. Still was able to remove 2 bodies off the field, which I will take. Being able to remove 2 is better than none. So he swings 6 at the Tashigi. Give him a 1K. And then he's going to swing another 6 at the Tashigi. And I believe I counter out again. And the reason why I counter out is so I can continue to put pressure on him the next turn. I do know he has the Sakazuki in hand, so I figured I don't want to give him 2 bodies this turn. I'd rather just continue to be able to put pressure with multiple characters on the board compared to, losing 2. And you do see I pitch a Brook to save that Tashigi again. And this time he swings 8. But I give him the Borsalino. And I give him the Borsalino over letting him take the Tashigi, because on my turn Borsalino is a 5K. At least Tashigi's swinging for 6. Yes, it could have been considered as a lot of over countering, which I won't disagree with, because kind of down in hand size here. But with what I have, I am pretty certain that I am able to remove anything, because I do have reduction in the trash. But I don't have is a Rebecca, which is what I wanted to be able to find. So looks like I'm still gonna establish a Moria, which is the best thing to do. Moria could bring back the Borsalino, which is another reason why I wasn't too worried about losing it. But instead, I choose to do the -2 with the Suru first off the Moria, and then Brook, since the Brook is played this turn, on play, reduces it to a 0, and then pops it. And I still have the other Brook. So if I have an Ice Age, I can remove either or, and I choose the Dofi. I choose the Dofi removal first because, again, he can get so much value off the Dofi, and it's a blocker. So I swing 5 at his leader, reducing the Dofi to a 0 and popping it, and then I swing another 5 and then 6. So was able to get 3 swings in compared to, popping the Sakazuki. Yes, it's a 7K swing, but I'm not too worried because I'm sitting at 3 life, and I'd rather remove the more annoying stuff. Worst case is this upcoming turn I can remove the Sakazuki with the Moria if I really need to. And you do see here he taps 3, plays out the limb, and grabs that Odyssey Luffy, which is a very great card. It can essentially rest any character, and I think after this turn he's going to be down to 2 cards in hand. And I will say, you gotta be able to get yourself out of a mindset of being hyper focused. And I bring this up because this next turn, after he passes, I'm focusing too much on removing his board, and I did this in the last match with Uta when I could have just swung lethal instead of focusing on removing. But yeah, he swings 8 at the Tashigi and swings at the Suru, and then, rests the Brook, and then Electroluna's everything. 2 cards in hand. I could have just swung a more and then attached it all on my leader. And instead, I hyper focus on what I'm supposed to do on removing the board. So what I'm gonna do is swing at the Sakazuki to clear it, and then I'm looking at my trash because I believe I have another Moria in hand to be able to do more things. But I could have just swung 9 and then 15, and then it would have been game. Which is why I preach to not hyper focus and just look at the entire board as a whole. But yeah, I'm going to end up removing the Sakazuki and doing some other stuff. And he is going to concede because it's pretty much GG's. I have a stacked field and there's nothing else he can do. This is where he explained it to me and I just realized it. But as always, if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought of the match. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.